is enough said.
Happy Sunday, Heat Nation. Your boy Ernest here. Back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you've enjoyed your weekend, living your best positive life. Don't forget to support the channel, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and please click the notification bell to get all the updates. Now that we got that out the way, please join me as we go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. And just a reminder, you guys, we're still doing the Toddler of the Year votes for my daughter, Maya. She's still first place, so appreciate you guys for the support. I'll leave a link in the descriptions. I'll put it in the comments, but really appreciate you guys' support. Now, on to Miami Heat basketball. And I do apologize for not posting the video the last 2 days. You guys been wrestling. Let me know if you guys want me to post the match that I've recently done. I'll put it on here for you guys. I've done that a few times, but you know, I know we usually talk about Miami Heat basketball. Getting to that though, I want to talk about some huge news. Something that affects the Miami Heat. So it was reported a couple days ago that unfortunately Haywood Highsmith will miss the next 2 months. Haywood Highsmith had a meniscus surgery. He injured it during training in his hometown in Baltimore, Maryland. And it's been projected that Highsmith will be out 8 to 10 weeks. So he will most likely miss training camp and possibly the start of the regular season. I know people will look at this and think, well, you know, it's not like it's Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo. And yes, that part is true. However, Highsmith is pretty vital to this team. And I know a lot of people won't think that Highsmith would actually crack the rotation. I don't believe that. You know, Haywood Highsmith is probably Eric Spoelstra's one of his favorite players on this team. And that's because Haywood Highsmith does all the gritty work. You know, he's a lot like Rodney McGruger back in 2017. You know, Spo started McGruger as the small forward, an undersized small forward, but it was because of what he did defensively, and he can hit the three-point shot. Highsmith is better than him. You know, Highsmith is a guy that could guard the opposing team's best player. You'd see Highsmith on guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you know, Kawhi Leonard. He's usually guarding the team's best, you know, wing player. And you lose that guy, this puts a hamper on your roster. He's a guy that can come off the bench. He can give you a solid 15 to 20 minutes. He can start multiple positions. He's a guy that you slide in when a player has an injury. Unfortunately, Highsmith is that guy out. Now, thankfully, this isn't a season-ending injury. Highsmith will be back for the regular start of the season. He may not play in the beginning of the season, but, you know, he may be etched in around the November, December time. But the real question is, who's going to step up with Highsmith out? And I'm looking at 3 players right now, you guys, that are really going to reap the reward of this unfortunate news. Pallel Larson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Simone Fontecchio. Now, I mentioned these 3 players because they are all possibly going to be in the same role as Highsmith. A wing player that's going to come off the bench and is going to help contribute with the second unit. But when you look at all these 3 players, they all provide something different. You look at a guy like Simone Fontecchio. This is a guy that was mentioned to be possibly released in order to save luxury tax. But this is a guy that provides elite level 3-point shooting. He's not known for his defense, but one thing this Miami Heat team was lacking last year was offense, especially coming off the bench. Simone Fontecchio is a guy that can space the floor for guys like Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell. He can create disruption for the defense. Now, like I mentioned, he's not known for his defense, but he does bring a high-level offensive type of scoring. So this is a guy that can stretch the floor. Yes, he's known as a little bit of a one-trick pony at the wing player position, so maybe he may not be the best option. Then you have a guy like Jaime Jaquez Jr. I think Jaime Jaquez is really going to be the one that benefits off of this, because one thing that Jaime was missing last year was playing time. You saw in his rookie season when guys like Haywood Highsmith was out, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler missed time, Jaime Jaquez flourished. You saw him drop 40 points last year in the last game of the season. This is when he's given opportunity. The problem with Jaime Jaquez, you guys, is that he's not really knowing his role on this team. He needs to find his role on this team. His three-point shooting struggles. He continues in his second season. He was only averaging 31% from the field. He also did a poor job defending. Those are the two big things that we need from Jaime Jaquez. But what the Miami Heat want from him is to be a 3-and-D level player. It doesn't really look to be his game. So this was something we heard from Jaime after his rookie season. He wanted to get better defensively and he wanted to improve his three-point shooting. It did not happen. So if we see Jaime Jaquez take that level, take that next step as a 3-and-D player, this is not only going to be beneficial for him on this roster, it's going to be beneficial for him in his career because he's not a superstar level player. So he needs to know his role. But the guy that knows his role, and in my opinion, from these three players who can benefit the most out of this, is Pallel Larson. Pallel Larson was a guy that was looking as the 11 to 12 player on this roster. But you saw at times last year when Eric Spoelstra gave him the opportunity, he flourished. This is a guy that, averaged 4.6 points a game on 54% true shooting last year. He only averaged 15 minutes a game, but you saw what he did in the summer league. He's poised to having a breakout second season. And now with Haywood Highsmith out, Pallel Larson is going to get those minutes. And I think Pallel Larson, especially with this youth movement roster that we have, can flourish. The only thing that Pallel Larson needs is playing time. You look at this roster, you guys, and I really think that we're 6-7 deep. 6-7 top-heavy players on this roster, with a potential starting five of Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, Norman Powell, Tyler Hero, Davion Mitchell, or maybe even Norman Powell. Then you have Nikola Jovic, who's going to be your point forward coming off the bench. That's 7 deep. So you need to find 3 more players that you can throw in that rotation that can be beneficial coming off your bench, but that can be players that play their role to perfection. Look at the Indiana Pacers, you guys. I mean, we can call Tyrese Halliburton a superstar level player. And yes, he proved in the playoffs that he was that guy. But during the regular season, he averaged 18 points a game. It's not like he was one of the NBA's leading scorers. Why were the Indiana Pacers as good as they were? Because you had a team that was 10 deep, players that knew their role and played to perfection. And this is exactly what I see from this Miami Heat team next year. We don't have a superstar level player, even though I feel that Tyler Hero can take that next step next year. But you have a team with guys that can play their role to perfection. You can have a team where we can have 6 to 7 players averaging over double figures. That's the type of team that I see this Miami Heat roster next year. But the problem is you need players that know their role perfectively off the bench. And I think a guy like Pallel Larson, who's going to come off the bench, is not going to demand shots and is not going to need the ball in his hands to create. He's going to affect the game in different ways, with his shooting, with his defense, with his hustle. But I want to hear from you, Heat Nation. Pallel Larson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Simone Fontecchio. Who's going to be the player that benefits the most from this Haywood Highsmith injury? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are pushing to 7,000 subscribers. Don't forget to vote my daughter Maya for Toddler of the Year. And don't forget to comment. Let me know your thoughts. And we're in the slow season, you guys. Give me some ideas. If you want me to talk about a particular topic, I'd love for you guys to let me know. Thank y'all so much for the continued support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out. And that is enough said, brother.